Hey guys, Luton here, and today I've got another thought for the day for you. I haven't had one of these for a little while, and probably should make some more, to be honest, but what we're looking at here is smokes and breakout. Now, breaking out of a situation like we are in here is never an easy thing to do. We're basically pinned down in. I've literally just spawned in, and as you can see, we're triple capped. We're pretty heavily down on the points, by 140, and we're pinned in this corner here. As you can see, they're spamming us with grenades, making a little retreat right here because I'm badly injured. Now, me and Supra just joined in on this random game and found ourselves in this situation. But it's very important to not just fear and get pinned back. You've got to try and make a break for it. And as you'll see, it's not without extreme risk. I managed to take out a couple of guys on the way here, but I also end up getting slaughtered, and as I will do throughout. Took two there, managed to make a push forward. And really, that's what it's all about, is making that push forward. You've got to just try. You've got to just try and move forward. And sometimes you won't win, and sometimes you will. But smoke will help you a lot. The changes with the smoke grenades have made it a lot easier to make these kind of moves forward, and that's like a really strong thing. Flashbangs also will help you out. I was using a lot of flashbangs this evening on the gameplay, and it really does. I think I got a little double kill right there. We're playing on hardcore, so again, obviously your bullets count a lot more than they would in the normal game mode, but it also makes it a lot more difficult to break out of a situation like, you know, the one we were just in right there. Once you're pinned into a corner, you really can't do very much in hardcore, especially if they have you fully surrounded. So it can, you know, it kind of comes and goes. And as you can see through this gameplay right here, I sort of have situations where I get onto an enemy and then I just get shot from the side or in the back or pinned or whatever, like right there, just get DMR'd down. And again, that's when you're playing hardcore, you just have that difficulty that of course you drop a lot easier. It means you're much more vulnerable than you normally would be from multiple different directions. Now, something else that it made me think about as well with this was, from a lot of games I've been playing lately, I guess it's a fairly obvious conclusion, but I guess I just never really sort of verbalized it very well, is that the difference I noted between public players and objective players, and the differentiation I make there is a public player would be one who, you know, perhaps is not so interested in necessarily breaking out, getting to objectives, making that push forward. They're more interested in just what's happening directly in front of them at any one time. And this was kind of, from what I'd seen in games, the conclusion that I took forward, which was that the difference that you see, and it was, we were actually playing Locker. We were playing Locker, and I've actually got that round, so I could potentially post that up as well. I was playing Locker, and we had like 4 guys from the clan. We were pushing forward, we were getting through. It was a small conquest, so 3 bases. We were pushing through, and we were capping their rear position. But even though we had managed to flank and push and cap, the rest of the team were not pushing forward. And what it made me realise was that the difference is that an objective player will take risks to break the line. You'll try and push forward by any means necessary. That means dropping the flashbang, smoke, running through. Sometimes you live, sometimes you don't. But you try to make that break forward. A normal public player won't do that, because what they will do from their point of view is they look, and if there are enemies in front of them, if they're still there in front of them, they won't move. They want it to be clear and safe before they move forward. And if it's not safe, they'll just think, okay, well, you know, there's people to shoot still, so why should I move forward? And that's the difference. It's just that totally different point of view. And I say, the more I started to think about that, and the more I looked at it in games, you start to see it all the time. Look for it yourself when you're in a game next. Look at, and you can identify the players that are really pushing for the objective and the players that are not. I just played a round of Golmud as well. We were playing Golmud Domination. I managed to get halfway through the game, and I was 2nd or 3rd on the board, yet I only had 2 kills. The reason being was there were literally very few of our team that were actually pushing to the objectives and controlling them. Our squad we were the ones that were controlling the objectives by moving, flanking and capping, but everybody else was just in the middle going for the KD. And so again, it's just that kind of point of view. But anyway, this whole round is actually 15 minutes, and although it looks like I got horribly slaughtered at the beginning of here, I kind of wanted to keep it in like I always do, you know, because I want to show you guys the real gameplay. But, you know, I actually finished this round totally respectably, do really well. And it's all because of that initial breakout that really allowed us to do that. Anyway, I wanted to post just this short one today, guys, because I've been posting a lot of sort of longer gameplay. I do still have that round for you on Golmud Rush. That one's coming up. That's the defense gameplay. And I'll probably do this one as a full round breakdown as well, because this was a very interesting game from start to finish. finish, and as I say, the latter part of this round is quite interesting. I've got a few hardcore rounds actually to post up and perhaps talk about, and I always get comments from people saying like, why don't you post more hardcore? Do you play hardcore? I do play hardcore, but it really varies on the kind of gameplay that you get, because sometimes that's why you don't go for the res, by the way, before you check for enemies, as people are always criticizing me for. But yeah, hardcore, it really varies on the kind of gameplay you get. We had many rounds on this evening which were very interesting, very good gameplay, but you also get those rounds where literally you have like 4 or 5 just, you know, border snipers, perimeter snipers, and they just pin you down wherever you move. We had several rounds like that as well, which were just not enjoyable, because everybody else was trying to get on with the game and just do the normal stuff, and you just couldn't move. It just makes it a misery. And again, that's really why I don't necessarily always play hardcore, because of the stylistic differences that just kind of negate that gameplay. Anyway, so that's what's one for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts about pushing onto objectives, about the way in which players move around on objectives. How do you find is the best way to break those lines and push forward? So thanks for watching this one, guys. I'll see you next time for another Thought for the Day.